So let's talk about the causes of mental health. Okay. So the causes of mental health is that one is genetic. So you might have family members who might have a history somewhere, so that means that you are at risk. However, the environment could make a difference. So you might have the genes in your body, in you somewhere, but the environment will be the one to pull the trigger. Right? So you might have it and nothing might ever happen. Why? Because you are in a nurturing environment, right? You are in an environment where you were raised from childhood all the way through adulthood, sound and sane. Is that any one of us? I don't know about you, but that wasn't my case. That was not my case. Yeah, I had my share of trauma. Yeah, I had my share of anxiety. As much as I told you, that started even earlier than that. I remembered afraid to even get on the bus. I was not like some people. I didn't have a driver to take me to school. I had to hop on the bus, right? And we hopped on the bus at age 5. Like, how? Whose parent will send their kids? In America here, that would be child abuse, right? That you send the child, take the bus or walk 2 miles to school. Because my parents didn't want to send me to a Hindu or Muslim school in my neighborhood. I had to go to the Catholic school. I had to walk. Right? Who does that? Not here in America, right? You'll be in probably child abuse. They'll be calling CPS on us. Okay, so the other one is that you have a chemical imbalance, and that happens, right? And you might not have born that way, but because of some, again, external something that would have caused, and I'm not going into anybody in medical here, all the healthcare people, some unbalance, right? Imbalance rather, right? The other one is the hormonal change. Happens. People go through puberty, and they go through, and this can happen to boys and men as well, right? Pregnancy, of course not, right? And menopause, right? Those are the stages where your hormones change, and in doing so, it really sets off your mind, right? All the neurons in your brains, and so your frontal cortex is not sometimes. That's why when we get older, going into menopause, and older adults, they start getting dementia, right? It's because there are things you don't have to. Again, it's even if you have the genes, you don't have to. Again, it's the gun. Is the trigger, the environmental issues. And I'm seeing now the flip side of dementia is now autism on a spectrum, right? So don't quote me on the flip side, but I've done enough reading to see that it seems like it is. All right, go ask your medical doctor. And they will, tell you, what, I'm not going down that road. Medical conditions, if you had a brain injury or something like that, it could cause you to be, depressed or suffer with anxiety or PTSD or something. And that's why for many people who have chronic medical conditions, like if you have diabetes or heart issues or something, at the doctors, I know at the Mayo Clinic and at Moffitt and so on, they have these support groups. And the support groups is to really help you with the diagnosis. Now you hear that I have diabetes, like, oh my gosh, what do? I have to go on this, and I have to go on dialysis. I've never done that. I have to depend on dialysis. These things can be traumatic for people, right? So you have support. Next slide, please. I'm gonna try to go.